is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are MC.
Royals baseball on a hot day in Kansas City. The Royals wrap up a 3-game series with the Boston Red Sox, and a victory today would be a winning series for the Royals. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Hudler. I'm Ryan Lefevre. Joe Goldberg and Jeff Montgomery are coming up. Well, when the Royals lost 9 in a row at the end of April, it'd be very easy to say, okay, we'll go out and win 9 in a row, and then they can dig themselves right out of the hole. But more realistically, it's what the Royals are doing right now, and that's winning one series at a time.
Yeah, it's unfortunate they got off to such a slow start. But look, that's all in the past now. If they continue to win series, they're going to get back to 500. They're going to find themselves a lot closer to the top. But you can see the 4 straight series wins is very important for them. That's the goal for any team. Doesn't always happen that way, especially with Boston here and Toronto coming. But in rubber games this year, it's just 1 and 4. Hey, look, that's the past 2. Today, 1 pitch, 1 at bat at a time. Hopefully they can get 1 game closer to 500.
On a hot day, it's going to be a good day to hit. And when we come back, we'll be talking about a guy who's done nothing but hit and possibly on pace to break an old Royals record. Royals baseball on Fox Sports Kansas City is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. For all, for less. Early in the season, the biggest topic surrounding the Royals was, when was the offense going to get going? When are guys going to start to get hot offensively? Well, let's talk about a guy that has never been cold yet this year, Mike Moustakas.
He's been really consistent. It's been fun to watch him. Now, you hear pitching coaches talk about the pitcher's ability to repeat your mechanics. Moose is repeating his hitting mechanics. He never changes. He's got control of his lower bodies, hands coming through the zone. I like where he stands. Look at that. Amongst the league leaders in home runs, Moose is definitely loose this year.
On the mound today, Ian Kennedy for the Royals. Coming off a game where he was flirting with perfection. Joel and Monty will talk Kennedy when we come back.
In this series finale, and that first pitch will be thrown by Ian Kennedy. Joel Goldberg, Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery. Ian ended a 15 straight starts without a win streak. Now he's 10 straight home starts without a win. Two quick keys.
Yeah, I think for him today, keep the ball in the ballpark. He's given home runs, and in 9 of his 9 starts consecutive, give him home runs, and the walks. He's got to keep the walks down since coming off the disabled list. He's given up 14 walks, 11 have scored. So keep the ball in the park and don't walk anybody, and you'll be just fine.
Well, he finally got that win. Arcia in the driver's seat looks at a game where he was perfect for quite a while. Why was he so good?
Well, I think the big thing for him in his last start was consistency. He had those starts coming off the disabled list where he had 3 or 4 innings where he was very good, very consistent, hitting his spots, and then he would fall apart. His last start, he was good, took the perfect game into that 6th inning, so a lot better as far as the consistent outing for him last time.
Yeah, he had that perfect game going for a while. Looked really like himself for the first time since the disabled list. What about the heat, the weather? How's that going to affect things today?
Well, the heat may affect him as far as durability, but the weather, the wind is blowing out hard, so it's going to be really important to stay down in the strike zone.
All right, we shall see as the Royals looking to win another series. No rain, just a lot of heat for Slugger and the Royals. More coming up.
On Fox Sports Kansas City is brought to you by the Missouri Lottery. Every ticket played gives back to Missouri schools, so play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. By Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by the Chevy Silverado, the most dependable, longest lasting full-size pickup on the road. Find yours at your local Mid-America Chevy dealer. Royals have had a good year so far against the AL East. They are 9-6. The Blue Jays are coming to town this weekend, and today the Royals can take the series from the Red Sox. The first pitch is coming up next. .92 degrees. However, some clouds have just moved in from the northwest, so that canopy there will keep the hot sun off the crowd at least for a while. It makes it feel a little more bearable for an afternoon game in mid to late June. Boston Red Sox lineup. In game one, the Royals held the Red Sox to just 2 runs. They broke out with 8 runs last night. No Dustin Pedroia. Red Sox were hopeful he'd return to the lineup today, but John Farrell keeps him out. He was hit by a pitch Sunday night in Houston. Ian Kennedy, his best start since coming off the disabled list. Took a perfect game into the 6th. He got 2 outs in the 6th inning before Cliff Pennington hit a home run.
Yeah, no, I love that 205 opponent average. He's looking good, that's for sure. Kennedy's got his focus back. It's taken him several starts, though, to get his rhythm and his mechanics. 61% fastballs. He's heavy with that, and why not? League's only hitting 221 off of it. It's got a little riser. It's a 4-seamer. Curve, slider, change. He's going to mix them all up against these Red Sox, keep them off balanced, and try to no free passes, no walks.
Shows you how pitching has changed. Who would have thought that throwing your fastball one day 61% of the time would be a lot?
Exactly. You know, back in the day, you could manipulate that fastball into 4 or 5 different pitches depending on what you want to do with it. Sink it, ride it, change it, whatever you want to do, change speeds on it. But the Royals defense, Cheslor Cuthbert, how about that? Second career start at first base. And you know what you tell yourself if you're Cheslor? It's a game of catch. Just catch the ball. Keep it simple.
Cheslor checking out the sun and the clouds, wondering if he should keep the sunglasses on. Gary Cederstrom will. He's the crew chief. He had the plate last night. He'll be at third. Gabe Morales will be back at the plate today. Adrian Johnson at first. Eric Cooper is at second.
You mentioned it. That cloud cover sure is special, but the wind is gushing pretty much straight out to left center. Keep her down.
Down and away, ball 1. Mookie Betts is just 1 out of 10 in this series. He did drive in the game tying run last night, which tied the score at 1 at the time, and then Boston would go on to win 8-3. Outside, 2-0. .113 extra base hits for Mookie Betts. That's the most in the American League since the beginning of last year. Swinging 2-0 and hits it up into the glare. Torres, playing at second base, wants it and backpedals out into center field. 1 away.
Kennedy is a fly ball pitcher, but that cloud cover is going to help, especially on that one. But Torres is talking to Escobar, saying, you know, with that wind pushing straight out, usually it's going from one foul pole to the other, the wind here, but that pushed it straight out there. You can tell it has an effect if the ball gets up high enough.
We brought it up before. That is a Royals minor league rule. If you want to have sunglasses on and you take them off in the middle of the inning, you are not allowed to cover the KC logo. So Torres was raised in this organization like every other. If you're going to take them off, well, you put them on the back of your hat.
That's exactly right. And you know, discipline is very important with organizations in the minor leagues, preferably. The big leagues, hey, look, you make it up here, you're a little bit more on your own, although you have to have that downstairs. You can't let them run the ball club.
Andrew Benintendi started game 1 of the series, and then with Matt Strahm on the hill last night, he did not play. The Red Sox are closing down a long road trip. This is the final stop of a 3-city trip. They also went to Philadelphia and Houston, and it's been a long trip for Benintendi. He's just 4 for 20 on the trip. John Farrell's team is in sole possession of first place after beating the Royals last night, and the Yankees lost their 7th in a row, falling to the Angels at home last night. So for the first time this year, the Red Sox are in sole possession of first place with a half-game lead.
Oh, so the West isn't as easy as people think it is.
Red Sox also 9 games above 500. That ties their high water mark. Right to Escobar. 2 down.
Kennedy, he knows the scouting report on all these hitters. Look where he is. Everything's on the outer half to Benintendi. That's just exactly what they want him to do. Don't give him anything in he can turn and burn on. Kid's got a quick bat in there.
And now Xander Bogaerts, who had his first major league multi-home run game on Sunday against the Astros. And now he's driven in 6 runs in his last 3 games. Fastball at 92 is in for a strike.
Even staying in the middle of the field with the best of them. You hit for an average like that, you know, you're using the whole field. That's his strength. 3 for 6 in his career against Kennedy.
A little bit inside, 1 ball, 1 strike, and Bogaerts' .321 average is 6th best in the American League. Who's leading the league, you ask? Avisail Garcia of the White Sox.
Still?
.339.
He's been at the top most of the season.
Here's 3 guys that no one would have predicted would be on top this late in the season. Avisail Garcia, Aaron Judge, who's a power hitter, but he's hitting .333. Corey Dickerson of Tampa Bay, and then Jose Altuve, and that's no surprise. 3-1.
And Corey Dickerson getting no love for the All-Star game.
3 balls, 2 strikes. And Bogaerts wears the number 2 because he is very comfortable hitting with 2 strikes. 46 hits. That's the most in the major leagues when he has 2 strikes. 1 for 5 in this series in those situations.
I'm not going to just challenge him here. After that challenge fastball he fouled off, he's on it. Do a little breaking ball. Went right after him. I like it. He's challenging, and that's what these guys do. You know, they're all type A, macho. I'm going to beat you. That's their mentality. They're all alpha dogs. You know what I mean? They're the top dogs, so they all want to think they can beat the other guy, and that's what makes the game fun. See what Salvi puts down here. Whoa, man, that's got a chance to leave the yard. Oh, almost off the wall. that's pretty good pull shot.
Chain link fence in between the last 2 steel beams on the left field side. If it went over the chain link fence, that would have ended up in the parking lot.
Okay, that's a hitter geared on a heater and gets an off-speed pitch. Ooh, nice spot. Great take. Nothing wrong with that. You can't give a hitter like Bogaerts 3 cookies in a row. He'll hit one out. Good spot. I think Salvi's okay with that miss.
Got to give Bogaerts some credit to have the discipline to lay off that pitch.
Unbelievable, especially in swing mode, swinging at the last 3 pitches.
So Mitch Moreland with a runner at first, 2 down, and like Benintendi, he was out of the lineup last night with Strahm on the mound. Bogaerts has stolen 8 bases this year, thrown out 1 time. Moreland was 0 for 4, and he was hit by a pitch in the game on Monday. Changeup.
It's important. You see how it almost looks like a split finger, but that's not. He just splits that pinky and the ring finger at the end. But the same arm action as the fastball makes it change speeds. You know, hold it in the back of your hand like that. And that changeup was really effective for him against the Angels in his last start. Especially because they're looking fastball.
Shallow center. And Torres makes the play. He was out in shallow right with the overshift, and he cuts between Kane and Escobar to make the play. So the Red Sox scoreless in the top of the first. The Royals coming up against lefty Drew Pomeranz. Ned Yost sees the opportunity to Give some guys a break today. Alex Gordon will get the day off. Eric Hosmer will be the designated hitter. Cheslor Cuthbert gets another start. He'll be at first base. Ramon Torres gets a chance to be in the starting lineup again. He'll bat ninth. All against 28-year-old left-hander Drew Pomerantz, a former first-round pick of the Cleveland Indians.
6'5", 232, right over the top. And that first pitch curve, he loves them.
The Royals see more breaking balls than any team in the major leagues, and they can expect that today. Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard. Only Lance McCullers throws a higher percentage of curveballs than Drew Pomerantz.
He loves it, and I'll tell you what, right-handers got to drool on that pitch because it looks like you want to take it deep, and it's a fooler. You either pop it up or you roll it over for a ground ball out. It's rare that you can square up a ball from the right side with a lefty with a curve like that. So you try to shoot him to right field. Try to you know, at least drive him to the right side. Better chance of putting it in play. But Merrifield, he was on that heater.
There's the big curve. It is 2 out of 7 in the first 2 games. Driven in a run, a big run, the go-ahead run late in the game on Monday, and he scored twice. Two and two.
Whitley hitting .318 with 1 homer of the 6 he's got on the season against lefties.
That is a fair ball. Marrero got to it just inside the line, and Merrifield hustling up the line makes it close.
Exactly what I'm talking about. You want to pull those curves, but lots of times if you can't get under them. All right, look at this now. Whitley hustling out of the bag. I mean, out of the batter's box. Love that. Defensively, the Red Sox, we're going to highlight Rutledge because he started in all 3 games in the series. And, you know, Rutledge is a very nice backup. He's an excellent player, but rather see him out there than Pedroia. Pedroia, he's just a grinder. He's such a proficient hitter.
Royals did very little last night against Chris Sale. They only had 1 run in the first 8 innings, and then Jorge Bonifacio drilled his 10th home run of the year against Sale in the 9th. Sale really wanted to go the distance. Only got 1 out. I say only. But after getting 1 out in the 9th, allowed a walk to Merrifield and the home run to Bonifacio. 1-2.
That's that little backdoor slider that he tried to get in the back door, but didn't. Actually was in the middle of the plate, and he didn't miss it. He hit a ball in that part of the ballpark here at the K. You got it all. A lot of ways that you can handle a guy who predominantly throws curves. Now we're going to show Sale. Let me get back to Chris Sale. Chris Sale was nasty last night. He had a demeanor about him that he didn't want to mess around. He meant business, and you could tell when John Farrell came to get him out, he was not happy. He threw a fit, kicked the dirt. He wasn't happy with himself. He wanted a complete game for his ball club.
Big curveball in for a strike. 2 down.
Starts way up. You see where it is, almost to your neck. When the release point comes out at the neck, you know it's going to be a pitch you can handle. When the release point of the pitcher is around the waist, it's going to be in the dirt. That's what a hitter's looking for.
Two down, and now Lorenzo Cain. 27 driven in, 1 in this series. To finish the thought on Chris Sale, you and I were in Ned Yost's office before the game today, and Ned was saying that Sale caught the Royals a bit off guard last night. They were expecting more fastballs, and he really mixed up his breaking ball and his changeup, which he's always had, but to a much higher percentage last night. And you were saying last night that there are a lot of stuff pitchers, and there are a lot of pitchers who rely more on guts than they do velocity and movement. But when a stuff guy becomes a complete pitcher, you've really got something.
You're in trouble. He knows it, and all you got to do is just try to not miss the mistake, and Moose and Bonifacio got it.
In the air to right, Mookie Betts is there and brings it down. We are going to be joined by Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred when we come back. Big announcement at the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum earlier today. Today, Major League Baseball and the players and owners coming together and donating $1 million to the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. Commissioner Rob Manfred here today for that. Tony Clark from the union also here, and good to see Bob Kendrick, who always has a huge smile on his face, always the best dressed man in Kansas City. And Commissioner Manfred, kind enough to join us here in the booth. And of course, when we ever have a special guest, the inning just flies right along. So,
fast,
Mr.
right?
Commissioner, welcome back to Kansas City. And I know you see this as a donation to a national institution, but it's very much Kansas City. So I can tell you on behalf of Kansas City, thank you.
Well, look, we think that the Negro League Museum is a great asset for this community. We're happy to give back in this community, but I do agree also it's a national asset. It is a really important part of American history, and everything about the museum, from its director, Bob, is phenomenal, but the design of the museum is one of the best I've ever seen. It really is a compelling place.
All those years that we had Buck O'Neill here too, I mean, he was just such a wonderful ambassador, and Bob Kendrick has grabbed the torch. I think for a lot of Americans, and to be quite frank, for a lot of white Americans, it's almost a shame that there was a Negro Leagues Museum, and they've done such a wonderful job of not using it as a way of reminding us of some of the worst parts of our American history, but how proud they are of the Negro Leagues.
I agree. I said it this morning in the press conference. I think one of the most interesting things about the museum, obviously you learn about great players, how high the quality of play was, but one of the most interesting things is the social aspect of the Negro Leagues. In order to accommodate the play in communities all around the country, you had hotels and restaurants that came up in order to service these players who were traveling, and that is the beginning of a social development that's really important and a really important part of our history. And I think the museum is a really positive place in that regard.
Mr. Commish, did you have a favorite Negro League player?
Oh, can I tell you something? I actually knew Buck, you know, when I was starting out in baseball, and I was really fond of him. I mean, just personally, it was more as a man than as a player, but he was just a great person, infectious to be around in terms of his energy and commitment to the things that he believed in.
And having a Buck O'Neil legacy seat for all the people who volunteer and give of themselves to others, I think would make Buck O'Neil proud, and that's what makes another thing that makes Kansas City stand out.
I agree with that. You know, I think you know, Dan and David Glass and the entire Royals group here have done such a phenomenal job in this community. I mean, one of the things that drove the donation that we made today was the Royals Youth Academy being right adjacent to the museum, and for us it was kind of a 2-for-1 thing. The museum was a good in and of itself. We wanted to support it. It's a great institution that's important to baseball, but the idea that you could have programming for the Youth Academy right out of that museum was also really great from our perspective.
Well, thank you again. I know you're a busy man today. Thanks for spending a few moments with us.
It's great to see you both, as always.
Thanks for stopping by, Commissioner.
We'll be back in Kansas City soon.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
With a Monarchs jersey and a Monarchs cap. The can't miss event of the summer hits South Beach when baseball's biggest stars take the field for the All-Star Game. The MLB All-Star Game, July 11th, only on Fox. Of course, it was a 7-pitch inning when we have the commissioner of baseball up here.
Why is it like that?
And he has other commitments with other broadcasts today, but nice of him to stop by. And as Hosmer takes a breaking ball for a strike, and you know, Kansas City and the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, and they've had to work really hard over the years to keep the museum in existence, keep it up to date, keep it in a state where people can visit and be impressed by all the exhibits. And now Commissioner Manfred over on radio with Denny and Fizz, and but $1 million. I mean, I'm just so happy for guys like Bob Kendrick. I wish Buck could have been here today for that check presentation.
And what Joel and Monty were talking about on their pregame show today, the Price Chopper Live, was really fresh. The fact that they had national coverage. And Bob Kendrick was saying this is the first time we've had nationwide coverage on our Negro League Museum, and that's what we want. And every dollar that they get is all donated, so it's not easy. So Major League Baseball did a great thing today. The Players Association, thank you.
Eric Hosmer is the designated hitter today. And a shot into center field. We'll see how Hosmer digging for 2.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Haas knew he hit it off the end of the bat. He didn't quite barrel it. So it's like hitting a changeup up there. And I watched him come out of the batter's box. And there's Ileana and his father up there applauding that hustle. And I said, well, I wonder. Now check him out. He's going to make a big turn. He sees it's in no man's land out there. It wasn't hit all that hard. Oh, and I came out of my seat. Sorry about that. Love hustle doubles like that. That sets the tone, and also it ignites the rest of the ball club. Sorry, I got excited. Wow. Great hustle. Good head first slide, too. Fingers up. Don't get jammed on the bag. Lead off double. Now let's make it happen. You're not going to ask Salvi to try to get him over because he could hit one out of the ballpark. So just go ahead. Ooh.
Salvi just 0 for 3 in the series. He was not in the game on Monday as Ned Yost wanted to pair up Drew Butera and Jason Hamill, which worked beautifully again. And he pulls it through the hole. Mike Jershely was going to send Haas, and usually you're talking about a player running through a stop sign. Hosmer put on the brakes with a green light. So I don't know if he stumbled around the bag, but he didn't feel good about heading to the plate.
Yeah, that's not on Jersh. Jersh is doing his job. He's his eyes for him, but Haas took a little bit of hesitation. He comes hard around the base, and he wasn't looking directly at Jersh. He was checking out his footing, so it was a little bit too late there, but still, hey, nobody out. First and third, they still could make the best of it.
He had the play right in front of him, so I think he was assuming that he wasn't going to be able to score.
Do you think he might have wanted to stop and talk to his buddy Marrero? I don't think so. But Moose, nice average. He's 238, but he's got 5 homers of his 19 off of lefties. Look for the sky hook.
To Rutledge. So the Red Sox will take that trade off. 2 outs for a run. 1-0 Royals in the bottom of the second.
Aggressive early, Moose. First ball, fastball hacking. Hit it right at him. So either way, they would have gotten a run. If Haas would have come home here, probably would have made it.
Chesler Cuthbert at first base today.
Ned Yost has a lot of confidence in Chesler Cuthbert, and not just to put him in to hit, but he can play different spots. His second career start at first base. He really he believes in his bat. That's why he's in there.
And the Royals believe no matter what his role is later this year, next year, whatever, that he'll be able to get back to the consistent player that he was last year, playing every day. Big bounce to Marrero, and that's the inning. Eric Hosmer with a hustling leadoff double that turns into a run, and the Royals lead 1-0. The big story in Los Angeles last night, that is Corey Seager, last year's National League Rookie of the Year, a 3-home run game, his second 3-home run game. And the Dodgers continue to be a story. You think about their big payroll, but they are among the league leaders in a category you don't want to be in, and that is number of players on the disabled list this year. And they're a half game back of the surprising Colorado Rockies, managed by former Royal Bud Black. They're 21 games over 500. We'll see the Rockies and the Dodgers this year in interleague play.
That's going to be a great race. It's fun. We can see both of those teams. A couple young players on the Dodgers too. Bellinger and Seager. These guys, man, they got that natural talent like some of the other guys we've seen that come in guns a-blazing in their first couple of seasons.
Christian Vasquez leads off the top of the 3rd inning. Yeah, it was a historic night for Cody Bellinger, who's the son of former major leaguer Clay Bellinger. He hit his 22nd home run, fastest in major league history. 22 home runs in 52 games. Seager was a 1st-round pick in 15. Bellinger a 4th-round pick in 2013.
Amazing, how could a guy that talented, Bellinger, go in the 4th round? You just, you know, the baseball is not an exact science, the draft. But those guys that are tall, long, have long arms and long legs, they seem to have the leverage. They can hit.
2 hops to Torres. 1 down in the 3rd. Royals have a day off tomorrow, and then on Friday some famous KC natives and their celebrity friends will take over Kauffman Stadium for the annual Big Slick Celebrity Softball game. 2 teams of celebrities will take the field for the game before the Royals take on the Blue Jays. The gates open at 4:30. The softball game starts at 5, and all fans with tickets to the Royals Blue Jays are welcome to attend the Big Slick Celebrity Softball game.
Weather's supposed to cool down for you too.
Devin Marrero batting with 1 out and nobody on. Called up from the minor leagues before the game last night, and he was impressive. He scored twice, drove in a run, 2 hits, reached with a walk, took a base hit away from his buddy Eric Hosmer. Two balls and 1 strike. Kennedy to this point looks like he's picked up where he left off on Friday at the Angels when he retired the first 17 batters of the game.
Yep, look at that, down below the knees. That's where he lives with that fastball with success. Below the knees and just above the belt. Sometimes he gets in trouble with the long ball when he's about thigh high. He's given up a home run in all but 1 of his 12 starts this year. And you know, just because big leaguers hit home runs off of you doesn't mean that you're a lousy pitcher. I mean, that happens. That's part of the game now. You can't sneak a piece of cheese by hungry rats up there. And so Kennedy loves his fastball, and he likes the location when he's hitting it above the belt. Sometimes you miss. 2-2. He's always been staying with his fastball.
2nd strikeout. And now Kennedy, first time through the Red Sox order today, all he's allowed is a walk.
Very nice, above the belt. Looks good to hit. Can't catch up to it.
And now the top of the order, and Mookie Betts, who opened the game swinging at a 2-0 pitch and popped out to second base. 1 for 11 in this series, Mookie Betts. And that's a story to this point in the series, because in the past the Royals have had a tough time slowing him down. 388 average. If you look at players all time with at least 75 at bats against the Royals, that's the third highest. Into left center field. Merrifield's out there today and makes a play in front of the track. And Ian Kennedy opens with 3 hitless innings. O'Neill legacy seat at today's game. Levetta started the Care to Share Cancer Support Group to help cancer patients as they go through their journey. Levetta and her network of volunteers transport patients to and from treatment and take care of their expenses such as gas, rent, meals, and supplements. In 2015, Care to Share helped 125 families with travel and medical expenses, saving them more than $19,000 in gas alone.
That is fantastic, Levetta. Thank you so much for your giving heart. What you do for others, especially with that dreaded disease, means a lot.
Alcides Escobar leads off and hits it up the left field line and down into the corner. And that is back-to-back leadoff doubles for the Royals in the last 2 innings.
Yep, there you go. Escobar getting his 14th double. He pounded that ball. First pitch, not messing around, and it was a heater. Tried to get him inside. Looked like a little cutter. That's his other pitch of the 3. And he turned on it. Now Torres, this situation here, I'd like to show his skipper that he could get the runner over. That's what you want to do if you're a second base shortstop. Guy who can do the little things needs to do them. So far he's been very impressive from the right side. He's 1 for 2, but he's impressed me with how little body he uses, and he trusts his hands and just tries to put the ball in play. This is what makes him dangerous. Runs well, and last night getting him to see him play some shortstop, he showed off a heck of an arm.
Two balls, no strikes.
You notice, Ryan, how quiet he is when he takes that pitch. He's not even moving hardly. He's not jumping. Sometimes you can see they load up and jump, and they're a little bit wound tight, but he doesn't seem to be for a young player in the big leagues.
Got the call. 2 balls, 1 strike. And that really goes against the scouting report. Torres known as a guy with good hand-eye coordination. Not a lot of walks, not a lot of strikeouts. Usually swinging very early in the count. That's something they've been trying to work on with him throughout his minor league career, to wait and be more patient for a pitch that he can really drive. But of all places, he has become a patient hitter at the big league level
so far.
Taking a shot at right field and fouls it back. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Got to talk to Danny Duffy today, who said he feels fine after his simulated game. And then I got to talk to Torres a little bit about facing Danny Duffy and how Duffy looked. He said he looked good. He speaks broken English, but good enough to understand. But I saw him hit 2 balls hard off of Danny Duffy, one down the right field line and one in the left center field gap. And I asked him what the pitch was, and he said it was a slider. So maybe he'll get a breaking ball here and jump on it.
Got a fastball, still trying to advance Escobar to third base. Esky last night got his 1,000th hit as a Royal.
Torres knows what to do. He didn't need the hitting coach to tell him to get the runner over.
And he will get the runner over. Bogarts throws him out. So a job well done. And there'll be plenty of high fives awaiting him in the Royals dugout as he gets Escobar to third.
Yeah, plus he milks some at bats. He has over 2,100 minor league at bats. That tells me he's had enough experience down there to know how to play the game and what to do. Nice job. See if that'll help get a run in.
And now the Red Sox are going to try and turn the heat on Whit Merrifield, and they're going to bring the infield in.
Whitley has the perfect swing for a breaking ball if Pomeranz wants to try it. He's a good bottom hand. He wants to think right field so he doesn't pull one over, but he can find a hole.
Missed a fastball, 0-1.
But to beat a team like the Red Sox, you've got to capitalize on every opportunity, and this is the 2nd inning in a row where the Royals have had a leadoff double. Got to find a way to get him home. It's a big run sitting down there at third base.
Last time Merrifield came to the plate with a runner at third and 1 out was on Monday night in the 7th inning. And the Red Sox had the infield in. And he got a ground ball in between third and short to put the Royals in front. And the third baseman, Marrero, this time he is way off the line trying to clog up that left side. You were talking about the adjustment that Mookie Betts made against Cheslor Cuthbert on Monday night. Now the Red Sox are trying to make an adjustment against Merrifield, really bunching the third baseman and the shortstop together on that left side of the infield.
Yeah, defensive adjustments right here. This is what you're talking about. That defensive adjustments is good, it's important, but Whitley wants to shoot it right by Pomeranz. That's the biggest hole out there. Try to hit it right back where it came from. Although 2-1, and Whitley with some good power this year might be looking to drive one.
Try to get him to pop one up with a fastball upstairs. 3-1.
Good patience, good selection. You got the meat of the order coming up behind you. It's got to be your pitch right here where you want it.
Breaking ball stayed up. And that'll be plenty deep to get Escobar home. So Merrifield again gets the job done in this series with a runner at third and less than 2 outs. And the Royals lead 2-0.
Talked about Whitley's bottom hand. Whitley's bottom hand took over there. He would try to pull him. And you can see Pomeranz on the side of the ball throwing him that wrinkle, and it stayed right up there over the plate, and he got it pretty good. Good enough to get the run home. That's all you want to do. And give half of that run to Ramon Torres for getting the runner over.
So leadoff double in the second, scores. Leadoff double in the third, scores. And now Bonifacio with 2 down, rolls it out to Bogarts, and that'll do it. Bonifacio is 0 for 2. 3 innings at Kauffman Stadium. The Royals lead 2-0. Sox series, and then the Blue Jays are here over the weekend, and we're going to celebrate Hispanic heritage with Viva Los Reales this Saturday. Before the game, there will be live music on the Outfield Experience stage, and local restaurants will compete in the annual Salsa Showdown. That away, John Pope.
Look at that body language. He's confident, isn't he? Look at him swelling up that chest.
Also, the first 10,000 fans are going to get that Los Reales barbecue apron presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. And while we're talking about our crew, on behalf of the both of us, we want to give a big thank you for our crew who set us up beautifully last night at the Blue Moon Tap Room. It's easy to say, hey, we're going to be broadcasting from the tap room tomorrow night, and Hud and I, we just have to show up. But the crew started early. They worked late to get everything wired in up there so we could have our television monitors, so that we could have our normal audio. So they went above and beyond yesterday to make a challenging location look and sound like a normal broadcast.
Oh, I'll tell you, thank you, Rhino. They were really good. I mean, just make it so easy for us. And they came early. I mean, they showed up early yesterday, way before the game.
Benintendi grounded out to short in the first inning.
I tell you, he's not going easy. This is sometimes a problem for Kennedy, is he loves that fastball so much that they'll foul pitches off and taxes his pitch count early in the game. Want him to stay in the game as long as possible.
One and two on Benintendi.
Likes that right center field gap, but he uses the whole field.
There's the right center field gap, And that ball's not coming back. Wow. Up into the second tier of the Fountains. That is his 10th home run of the year and his team leading 40th RBI. It is now a 2-1 game. And for the second start in a row, Kennedy's first hit allowed is a home run.
In a 1-2 count, he was ahead of him, and he gave up that thigh-high fastball just below the belt. Kennedy, you can tell by the sound. Benintendi, very impressive with his 9th homer. Excuse me, his 10th.
And now Bogaerts, who walked first time up. That's the 10th consecutive start that Kennedy has allowed a home run. So on one hand, that sounds bad, but the home run he gave up to Pennington in Anaheim was a solo home run, and this one's a solo home run. And now he's behind 3-0 on Bogaerts. Over the inside, 3-1. And that ball's hit well to left center field. Back-to-back home runs for the Red Sox. Number 5 for Bogaerts, and we are tied at 2.
You can just tell by the sound, and when they're hit well, that it doesn't matter if you're in one of the biggest ballparks in America, it's still going to carry with that wind blowing out. We talked about it, and that's right down the middle. Fastball, 2-seamer. We talk about it all the time. Hitters don't miss that up here.
th and 14th home runs allowed by Ian Kennedy. And now Moreland, and he takes a changeup outside. Mitch Moreland popped to second in the first inning. So you say, the Red Sox hitting home runs. What else is new? Well, that is new. They have hit the fewest home runs in the American League, and we're coming up quickly on the midway point of the season, and they only hit 1 home run in the first 2 games of the series. I mean, typically that's one of the first things that comes up when you face the Red Sox. How do you beat the Red Sox? Well, you keep the ball in the ballpark. But they're not as intimidating in that category as they usually are.
Yeah, and you know, we all know here in Kansas City you can win without the long ball. We've traditionally the last few years haven't had a lot of power. They've done well, and they're not stealing more bases. They have an excellent ball club.
Well, Kennedy fell behind Bogaerts and challenged him with a fastball. Moreland got a fastball and fouled it back. That's not quite where Salvi was set up.
Nope, and he just missed it. He had a rip. The timing on his swing was perfect to Kennedy's fastball.
Going to try and get him with a changeup. And that's pulled foul outside of first base. Well, Kennedy doesn't have a fastball that's going to light up a radar gun, but it's effective. It moves. And remember, last year he had more strikeouts with his 4-seam fastball than any pitcher in the major leagues.
he got another fastball. And you know, you say, well, up here, big league hitters don't miss that pitch. But his four-seam fastball, not only does he throw it a lot, over 60% of the time, it has a lot of late life to it. It has almost like a rising effect to it that makes it look good to the hitter, but by the time he swings, he fouls it off or misses it. Moreland has missed a couple fastballs here. Put it there again for him. Ooh.
Yeah, there are a lot of hitters that'll say four-seam fastball, my ear, because of the movement. Because usually when you're saying four-seam fastball, it's velocity and straight. And Kennedy's is, at least most of the time, far from straight. And Salvi's asking for another changeup on 3-2. And Moreland spoils that one. He's fouled off 4 in a row.
No, Moreland, he's locked in. This is the time where a 3-2 count where Kennedy doesn't want to walk. There's nobody out. He's giving up back-to-back homers here to start this top of the 4th inning. Wants to throw him a strike, so Moreland knows it.
Did he go? Nope. So Moreland earned that walk, and he's on with still nobody out.
Yeah, but good thing he put a little wrinkle in this one. The fastball and changeups weren't working. Look at all those pitches that Moreland expended on Kennedy. Or made him expend.
So Dave Island out to have a little chat. Give him a chance to catch his breath on this hot Kansas City day. Crush home runs and dominate in your very own Derby competition in the official MLB.com Home Run Derby game on the App Store and Google Play. Swing for the fences against more than 10 million players from around the world as your favorite Derby all-star. Download Home Run Derby for free today. Here's the idea. Umbrella on a day like today. That overcast we were talking about at the beginning of the game has been burned off by the sun. Upstairs to Chris Young. So now the heat and the full sunlight bearing down on the crowd and the players of the moment.
A lot of birds flying around today. They look to me like swallows. I mean, you know how I'm not exact on a lot of things, but they're tiny. They move. They're feeding right now. Normally see them flying all around like this. They're eating the moths that are out there. Can be distracting too when they get down low. They feed off the grass, and the hitter just trying to focus on that ball coming at 93 plus. But look at how clean and beautiful Kauffman Stadium is. No shadows anywhere. This is premium time to play. Day game baseball. See the ball well.
Slider over the outside. 1-2 on Chris Young, who doesn't appear to be thrilled with that call by Gabe Morales. It's his way of protesting without showing up the umpire, shaking his head as he digs back in. 2 home runs and a walk for the Red Sox to begin the 4th inning. 2-2. Benintendi homer deep to right center field to lead off the inning, followed by a Xander Bogaerts line drive home run to left center, and then Moreland and Kennedy had a long battle, and Moreland reached with the walk. Kennedy had not allowed a hit in his first 3 innings.
25 pitches thrown by Kennedy this inning. He'd love a double play.
Three and two.
Still nobody out. Kennedy has induced 4 ground ball double plays this season. Red Sox taxing his pitch count by fouling off 17 foul balls so far early here.
That'll be out of play. Got him. So Kennedy wins this long battle and gets his third strikeout.
Missouri Lottery Fox Tracks shows you he executed the pitch down and away. Got him to swing. Good job.
And now Jackie Bradley Jr. 0 for 1 with a pop out to second base. If you like to measure a player by OPS, here's our Kubota Power Stats for today. Two of the best center fielders in baseball are on the field right now, Jackie Bradley Jr. and Lorenzo Cain. Because of an injury and a suspension in Pittsburgh, Andrew McCutchen is back to being a center fielder. Has an 866 OPS. Charlie Blackmon, we'll see him when the Royals play the Rockies this year.
Seeing Mr. Blackman's name in a lot of categories. He's playing one heck of a season. He's having an MVP type year.
Mike Trout has been on the disabled list long enough now where he didn't have the required plate appearances to qualify with that group. And right on cue, just the way we rehearsed it, Bradley hits it to Cain as we're talking about those two. 2 outs in the 4th inning.
You could see Whitley Merrifield right in Lorenzo's back pocket because of the sun. Never know. Ball hit that high. You got to really bust it. If you're a corner outfielder, you got to take care of your partners out there and back them up in case they can't see it. Nothing worse for a starting pitcher to get a fly ball for an out and not be caught.
Down and away to Rutledge. Kennedy struck him out in the 2nd inning. Good to see the kiddos here today. A lot of kids in the view level seats today, and many of them at the upper levels in the shadows. 1 ball and 1 strike. Rutledge filling in for Dustin Pedroia, who was drilled in the back on Sunday in Houston. That's been a break for the Royals. If you're talking about 250 career plate appearances against the Royals all time, that 359 average is the highest. And for Pedroia, it started for him very early. He had his first major league home run against the Royals in 2006 as a September call-up against Luke Hudson. And then the next year he was Rookie of the Year and a world champion, and the year after that he was the American League MVP.
He's a scrapper.
2-2. It is now a 35 pitch 4th inning for Kennedy.
Long inning, and your defenders are out there standing out in that hot sun today. This is not the inning he's hoping for. They tied it up, didn't want to give him any more. Finish him off. foul balls are piling up. You know, Pedroia, we just showed you that shot. He's talking with Rick Porcello. He's sitting there talking, and you could tell they're talking hitting, and that's exactly what you do. If you're a hitter, talk to a pitcher. Pitcher's going to tell you how he's going to get you out. That's how you learn more. Good pitch. Changeup.
So the Red Sox tie the game with 2 solo home runs. Kane, Eric Hosmer, who has doubled and scored, and Perez coming up. Will host the annual on-field gala event. Diamond of Dreams, benefiting local military organizations. The event is officially sold out, but you can still contribute by bidding on one-of-a-kind silent auction items like the complete Royals bobblehead collection. Going back to 2002, includes the hard-to-find Slugger bobblehead. The lighted display case that you're looking at right now is included. That's just one of many unique items. And again, all the proceeds going to local military organizations. Diamond17.gesture.com. And then we'll throw in a free pair of socks.
With low cane on them. I like that. It's a cane on there. I don't think Joel has a pair of those. You know, Goldie, he has a wide assortment of some wild socks, but I've never seen those before.
Two-two tie. Now Drew Pomerantz is 0-2 on Lorenzo Cain. He flied out to right field in the first inning.
Locaine, excuse me, Ryan. When Locaine came up against the lefty last year, oh man, it was over. 371. Look at that slugging percentage. This year, not the same.
Sound like he broke his bat, and it's foul. Still 1-2.
And it's hard to figure why. You can ask him. He'll tell you. I can't really tell you why. I give the best I can against righties and lefties. And the same thing with great hitter Miguel Cabrera last year when he was struggling. Same kind of splits against lefties. And I went and asked him. He's a good guy. You know, I said, why aren't you hitting good against lefties this year? He goes. He looked at me with a perplexed look and goes, I don't know. He put both his hands in the air like he was looking for an explanation. Hard to figure. It's just the way baseball is.
Two and two.
All I know is he's still locked in. He hit some good balls on the nose last night. Didn't have any fortune, but a lot of luck. But Pomerantz seems to be staying more heaters now than he is with his curve. Fastballs, cutters in right here.
Curveball falls out of the sky and in for a strike. Second strikeout for Pomeranz. Both called third strikes on curveballs.
It is. It's a bender.
Eric Hosmer, the DH today. He had a hustling double leading off the second inning and didn't mean to go around there. Came around to score. That is his lead on Yonder Alonso. And we are down to 8 days of voting. So keep voting, because you know fans in Oakland and Detroit are trying to get Alonso and Cabrera to Miami. Vote at Royals.com. You can vote every day of the week if you want to.
Oh, that's why we got to keep the lead for him, folks. It's very important for him. Very special occasion for any player to be an all-star.
Yonder Alonso was born in Cuba, but he grew up in Miami, so I'd imagine the A's are saying the same thing. Send Yonder back to his childhood hometown. Foul ball came up and got Hosmer. Still 1-2. Although Eric's had a chance to play in Miami last year. The Royals were there for interleague play, and then he had that experience during the World Baseball Classic against the Dominican Republic, where both Eric and Danny Duffy said that was the loudest they could ever remember being at a big league ball game. That's up the middle. Bogart's the shortstop. Backhand play and a jump throw for the second out.
This might look like a difficult play, and it actually is. But for Bogarts and a lot of middle infielders in the majors, that's routine. Look at that. Now he timed it. He's a great athlete. Has excellent body control. Wonderful hands and feet. You have to have all those tools to be able to play Major League Baseball as a shortstop, middle infielder. Agility, athletes.
Fastball is low to Salvador Perez. He singled to left field first time up. The key for Pomeranz so far today is keeping the ball down and getting a lot of ground ball outs. Another key for him, if you're looking at it from the Red Sox point of view, is to try and get him to speed up and reduce his pitches per inning. He can knock himself out of the game, not because of what the opponent is doing to him, but just because he will simply run out of pitches. Fouled back to the wire on top of the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Looking at major league pitchers who average the most pitches per inning. When you're up around 20 an inning, that's a lot. And you're going to have a short day or night. And Pomeranz is basically at 19 pitches per inning on average. And he's down a bit today, about 15 pitches per inning, which doesn't sound like a big difference, but over the course 5, 6, 7 innings, that could be the difference of at least an inning. And this is his longest inning. 2 outs, 17 pitches in the bottom of the 4th.
Maybe he tries the same pitch on Salvi that he did on Lorenzo, that backdoor breaker. Stayed down.
It's good to see Salvi swinging the bat today pain-free after what he went through in the Angels series.
Oh, he did.
So he'll take a walk with 2 down.
Good. That'll work that pitch count. Good eyeball there. Cutter in on him after the breaking ball's down low. They're coming in with that cutter. Good take. Nice plate appearance. Salvi, 10th walk.
Mike Moustakas with runners at first and third and nobody out in the second inning. Swung at the first pitch he saw from Pomeranz and grounded into a double play. Hosmer scored for the Royals' first run. Shallow center field. And Bradley Jr. comes up from center and makes the play. The Royals strand Perez at first, and we're tied at 2 at the end of 4. Baseball is brought to you by Ford. Going further so you can. And by Academy Sports and Outdoors for all for less. Hot day, 92 degrees. First 2 or 3 innings there was a nice cloud cover taking the sting away from the hot sun, but that cloud cover is gone. And Ian Kennedy in that heat and bright sunlight in the 4th inning threw 37 pitches. 37 of his 77 pitches came in the 4th. The 8, 9, and 1 hitters are coming up, and he's upstairs to Christian Vasquez. Red Sox catcher grounded out to second base in the 3rd inning. Royals got runs in the 2nd and 3rd innings. Red Sox got back-to-back home runs in the 4th to tie it. And that's over Escobar, and Vasquez is on to begin the 5th inning.
Well, he hit that off the end of the bat. Looked like that might have been a changeup. Yeah, and it was. Didn't barrel it, but a good smooth path to the ball. Hit it off the end, but high enough to get it over Escobar.
Ian Kennedy struck out Devin Marrero with a fastball in the 3rd inning. And now bunting.
Somebody better get there. Uh-oh.
And it's thrown over Torres. And the Red Sox will have runners at 2nd and 3rd with nobody out.
Cuthbert just making his 2nd major league start. Came in. Kennedy, good athlete. A little bit of miscommunication. Torres knew that what he had to do. You could see him coming in. He's cheating. He's got to get there. For Kennedy, he just goosed the throw. And what you want to do is just lob it a little bit lower, so just throw it there. Even if he's not there, he'll catch it and get it out. But it's not going to happen here. A little bit of miscommunication there, and it's going to happen when you have an inexperienced first baseman. So let's see if he can wiggle out of this one. This is trouble, especially with the meat of the order coming up. So good to have the commissioner here, especially on the occasion of the great donation to the Negro League Baseball Museum. But one of the great things about this game, and of the many, is that baseball players can play it no matter what size you are. Mookie Betts at 5'9", 175 wouldn't be able to make any other sport in any other team except soccer. And this guy had a career year last year, and it's only like his third season in the majors. He had 318 and 672 at bats. He had 214 hits, 42 doubles, 31 homers, all from a guy that size. Pedroia, little guys like that, you can all play baseball. Mentioned the Royals Baseball Academy going up right across the street from the Negro League Museum. It's going to develop a lot of big leaguers in the future. You watch.
Betts is popped to second and flied to left. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Infield is back because there's a runner at second base. If they're all in, then it's an easier lane for the hitter to hit the ball by the infielders. So they're back. They have more range. And Ned doesn't want to cut down the run at home at this time of the game.
Got a fastball on 3-1, and he fouled it away. Got a fastball up, and that's what Betts is looking for, trying to get something in the air and at least get the runner in from third. 85 pitches for Kennedy and 4+ innings. So Mike Minor begins to heat up in the Royals bullpen. Leadoff single by Vasquez, and then Devin Marrero dropping down a sac bunt. Reached on the throwing error by Kennedy. So the Red Sox were just hoping for a runner at second with 1 out, and they ended up with runners at second and third and nobody out. Merrifield with some forward momentum. Here's Vasquez, and the throw's a bit offline, so Moustakas cuts it off, and Boston takes a 3-2 lead.
Didn't quite get it all, but he got enough of it. Merrifield took a step back, gauged himself, and pulled it just a hair. I think Moose did the right thing. They wouldn't have gotten him. Keep Marrero at second base.
And that'll bring up Benintendi, who homered last time up. Got a curveball and fouls it away. Benintendi hit it into the second level of the fountains in right center field. It's our Ram drive of the game.
That was up and away, and he pulled it. Wasn't a pitch that he went with to left center field. Impressive top hand by this young man, and the power he possesses. He's a good-looking young player. Oh no! I didn't quite get that one. Good swing,
even with the wind and the heat.
Good pass, had good height to it. 2 outs though. Maybe he can get out of it with just giving up 1 here.
And now to be Bogarts with a runner at third base. That's where the weather conditions today. Now the Royals will intentionally walk Bogarts. So the no pitch intentional walk. And that brings up a left-hand hitter in Mitch Moreland, and Ned Yost sees this as an opportunity to get Mike Minor in the game. So 89 pitches and 4 2/3 innings for Ian Kennedy today, and it was the 4th inning. Not just that he gave up 2 home runs and 2 runs, but the overall pitch count that probably led to Ned making the move right here. So Mike Minor is a Chevy call to the bullpen. So parents sign the kids up for Sluggers Blue Crew. Saw a lot of kids with the Sluggers Blue Crew apparel. We were broadcasting out in right field last night. This year's membership includes a Blue Crew jersey, a flat bill cap, a special edition set of earbuds, Royals Eye Black, 2 home game ticket vouchers, and more for just $30. Sign them up right now. Royals.com/Blue Crew. So Mike Minor against Mitch Moreland with runners at first and third and 2 down. Off speed and low to Moreland.
Fastball, slider, changeup. Slider, he is changing speeds with it. You saw that might have been a slider there, but in the upper 80s. But we saw some just recently at 91, 92. That's a hard slider. Do some 95 to 97 with his fastball.
Slider. 1-1 on Moreland. He is walked and popped out to second base. Marrero at third. He reached on the air. Bogarts at first. Reached on an intentional walk. And at the moment, even though Vasquez opened the inning with a base hit, his run is unearned, having advanced to third thanks to the air. But a run nonetheless. Gets by Cuthbert, And Marrero scores. It hit first base coach Ruben Amaro. We're going to call it an error on Minor, although it looked like it just zipped right by Cuthbert as if he didn't see it. And there was a close play at the plate because it drilled the first base coach.
Whoa, man. Not good. 2 errors, rare Royal errors in the same inning. And Ruben wore that one. And it wasn't like Minor just lobbed it over there either. He put something on it. And I was wondering how Cuthbert was able to get it and throw it home so quickly. I was looking in the stands if it was going in the stands. Watch Ruben. Ho-hum, minding his own business. Ooh, wear that one. Oh, he's really fortunate that that got him where it did, right in the upper pectoralis major there, up to the pec. You don't want to. Not a good day for a ball sandwich. And wasn't exactly thinking that big leaguer would miss like that. Be alive over there, man. That's a hot box.
And you really can't get out of the way because his first job is to keep an eye on Minor and his move. And then as Minor begins to throw to first, he then is going to turn his attention to see if his runner gets back in time. So he didn't even see the ball coming.
No, and very fortunate. Tough guy, though. He didn't want any help. Bounce right back up.
That compared to years as a general manager for the Philadelphia Phillies. It was like getting hit with a feather.
Yeah, are you kidding me? All that stuff he took there, man. That's a tough city to be a GM in. That's why he's so tough. Ooh.
Off the end of the bat, Kane is there. So 2 errors, and the Red Sox take the lead 4-2. The end of 3, but now Boston with 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th. Both runs were unearned in the top of the 5th, and they lead 4-2. Time for our sprint trivia question as Escobar pops out of the Royals dugout. Name the 6 active players with more hits as a shortstop than Escobar's 1154. And while you think about that, John Farrell and the Red Sox trainer come out of the third base dugout to talk to Pomeranz as he was warming up. So he did something to give the dugout a scare, but he's convinced John Farrell he's all right. So 6 shortstops, 6 active shortstops who have more hits than Escobar's 1154.
Pomeranz, look at that. Now, whenever you show body language like that on your last throw and you kind of grab your shoulder like that, that's going to cause some commotion in the dugout. Came out, checked on him. He said, "I'm all right. I was just stretching."
0-2 on Cuthbert. They changed the second error in the top of the 5th inning from a throwing error on a pickoff by Minor to an error on Cuthbert. Official scorer thinking that Cuthbert should have handled that throw. He was late reacting and he had to reach for it, but it did seem like it was in his area. Two and two on Chesler. He grounded out to third in the second inning. Chesler making just his second major league start at first base today. And Yost giving Eric Hosmer half the day off today. And then everybody gets a day off tomorrow. Third strikeout for Pomeranz.
How about Elvis Andrus? Ding, ding, ding. What about Eric Ibar? Ding, ding, ding.
Troy Tulowitzki.
Ding, ding, ding. That's 3 for 3. Stay hot. How about J.J. Hardy? Ding, ding, ding. That's 4, if I counted right. I have the shortstop from the Giants, Crawford.
As Drupal Cabrera. No.
Sorry. Don't get offended.
Really?
Just like Fizz wants, he likes to let the fans have a couple of choices before we ace the test.
Johnny Peralta still active?
No.
We're not sure, but that's not one of the answers.
Cardinals let him go.
1-1 on Torres. One and 2. So how many do we have? We have 4 of the 6. Two and 2. Torres grounded to short in the 3rd inning. Right to Moreland. So right after his team gives him the lead, Pomeranz has a quick bottom of the 5th inning. Red Sox lead 4-2, taking the lead with 2 unearned runs in the 5th inning. Mike Minor got the final out of the 5th, stays on for the 6th, and Chris Young hits it up into the sun. Easier play for Whit Merrifield, and the Red Sox DH is 0 for 3. Every Friday night home game now through August will include Buck Night and summer fireworks. All the hot dogs and peanuts with Buck Night presented by Price Chopper, and then summer fireworks presented by Popsicle and Price Chopper. And the next one's coming up the day after tomorrow with the Toronto Blue Jays here. And the weather is going to cool off. Cool off considerably. High temperature of 81 degrees.
Beautiful
for Friday. 78 on Saturday and 78 on Sunday.
That must mean some moisture's coming too, right?
Chance for some rain on Friday, I believe.
Okay.
I think it's in more in the morning. 0-2 from Mike Minor to Jackie Bradley Jr., who is 0 for 2. 3 pitches, down he goes. All right, so our trivia question. 6 active players with more hits as a shortstop than Alcides Escobar. We have 4. And we've gone through, at least I have, gone through all the starters. So there must be a former shortstop who's a utility player now. That's right, Hanley Ramirez.
Okay.
Jose Reyes.
There you go.
Reyes has been playing a lot of third base for the Mets, right? After their being their longtime shortstop.
Yep. Good question.
Reyes has the most. Josh Rutledge has struck out twice. Ian Kennedy gave up 4 runs, only 3 hits in 4 2/3 innings. 2 runs were unearned. Gave up a couple of solo home runs. Torres fields. Cuthbert hustles back to the bag. And that's it for the Red Sox in the top of the 6th. The bottom of the 6th inning, our Sonic Slam inning contestant is Bill Mateel from Ottawa. If the Royals hit a home run out of the park in this inning, Bill wins $1,000. If the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Bill wins $25 grand from Sonic and the Royals.
Okay, Bill, top of the lineup. Here we go. Time to jump on Pomerantz. Third time around. Facing the Royals offense. He's done a nice job. Mainly 2 pitches. He's mixed in that big curve in his fastball and a few cutters in on righties. Only 2 left-handed hitters in the lineup for Ned today. Moose and Haas. See if they can get a couple guys on. Couple bloops and a blast. There's the numbers: first, second, third time through the order facing Pomerantz. What he's done: 292, third time through. Let's see if they can make it work. Talking about the strength of one of the strengths of the Red Sox is their bullpen. They got some tough back end guys. Be hard to hit them.
That is into right center field. So a good start to the 6th inning. Merrifield, who has driven in one of the runs today, is on to begin the 6th.
Beautiful bottom hand, not trying to do too much, you just love it. Always keyed the front foot, not too far ahead, but I love the head position. Freeze it right there. Look at that. Golfers would love that head position right there. Back leg bent there. That's exactly what you do. Keep the head down and stay through the ball and guide it. Bottom hand. The bottom hand on the on the knob of the bat, you see he chokes up about an inch, maybe an inch and a half, which gives him better leverage and balances the bat out a little bit better for him. Seven out of 8 steals on the season for Merrifield. Has that kind of speed. Nobody out. Don't necessarily want to hit and run here. Ned tried one a few days ago with Bonifacio at the plate with Merrifield.
I got it.
Work.
Both guys are calling for it, and Moreland makes the play. Both Vasquez and Moreland were screaming, "I've got it." Moreland has priority. 1 down. And now Lorenzo Cain, he is flied to right and struck out. Up and away, ball 1. There's that big curveball, and we showed you early in the game today that only Lance McCullers of the Astros throws a higher percentage of curveballs in the major leagues than Drew Pomerantz.
Can't give up on it. It's one of those where you see when it at the release point looks like it's going to be way off the plate. Coming into the game, Hosmer and Cain were the only 2 players in this Nets lineup that ever faced Pomerantz, and they had just 1 at bat. The other 2 were Gordon and Moss, and they're not in there. So, you know, they're having a hard time figuring out that breaking ball.
That was a relief outing 2 years ago, and Pomerantz was playing for the A's.
Make a mistake with that and jump on it. Hang on it. Knock it out of the park. He hadn't made too many mistakes with it.
Mentioned earlier, he was a first-round pick of the Indians, but that was 4 teams ago. I don't know how you would look this up, but how many first-round picks in Major League history have been with 5 organizations in their first 8 years?
Wow.
Grounded out to Bogarts, and trying to make a quick toss to Rutledge. He lost the handle, and I don't even know if they had a chance for a double play, but the Red Sox get just the one at second.
See if the Royals can capitalize on that. That was an inning-ending double play ball if I've ever seen one. Although Locane gets down the line pretty quick. I don't know if Rutledge would have been able to turn it. But let's show you something here that could be interesting with this at bat. Haas already got a leg double earlier, but look at the lefties, what they've done on Pomeranz. 380, and that's because of hanging breaking balls. Those breaking balls that stay up in the zone like that, they can get hit. And this guy right here knows exactly what to do this season so far. Haas hitting 309 with a couple of homers against lefties.
And to put that number into perspective, that's the second highest opponent's batting average, lefty on lefty, in the league. Lefties are hitting .500 against Minnesota's Hector Santiago, and then the next highest is Pomeranz.
Get him.
1-1.
Ball's in play. There you go. Take a shot. Take a guess where you think he's going to hit it. 19% in left center field. That's where Jackie Bradley Jr. is playing right now. I feel like they got it all covered. That was the one. You see Haas shaking his head. He's saying, oh man, that got me a four-seamer right where I like it. Missed it. Oh, there it was.
Gonna try and get him with a fastball up. And they did. So Drew Pomeranz has held the Royals to 2 runs in 6 innings. Boston leads 4-2. Royals baseball is brought to you by Jeep. Test drive a Jeep brand vehicle at the Drive and Discover event going on now. And brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, for all for less. Kids out enjoying the carousel and the outfield experience. Get them in the shade for a while on a bright, hot, sunny day at Kansas City.
What a great idea to have a carousel at a ballpark, huh? A lot of things to do for the youngins out there.
That'll be to the screen and into the third row. And sometimes a souvenir just lands in your lap.
Fortunately for her, right in the back of the seat and didn't get her. I mean, she leaned up and it landed right in the seat, right, so no bruise.
Josh Rutledge has made the final out today 3 times. So that means the catcher Christian Vasquez has been a table setter. He leads off for a 3rd time, and in the 5th inning he led off with a single and scored the go-ahead run. Came home on a sacrifice fly by Mookie Betts. That was an unearned run because of a throwing error by Ian Kennedy on a bunt. And then Devin Marrero scored on a fielding error by Cheslor Cuthbert on a pickoff play over at first. And that's how the Red Sox took the lead in the 5th inning. 2-2.
Minor likes to bust righties in. I mean, not just on the inside part of the plate, like 3 or 4 inches in off the plate. Successfully opening up the outside part with his slider and change. Ouch.
Full count. Vasquez battles back after falling behind. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Number 9 hitter Devin Marrero's on deck. And then after that, Mookie Betts. Still 3-2. Royals got 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd. They had a 2-0 lead. Red Sox hit back-to-back home runs, Benintendi and Bogarts, to tie it in the 4th. And then the 2 unearned runs in the 5th. And Cuthbert didn't quite get there. It wasn't hit very high. Gave him a chance to get underneath it, and playing a position he's not very familiar with. I think he thought he was closer to the dugout than he actually was.
When the beginning of the game, I talked about Cuthbert getting his 2nd start in his career at first base. I said, keep it simple. It's a game of catch. But you know what? It's not always that easy. Little checkers, little bunt plays, little choppers that cost him a run with Kennedy making an error. Good pitch there. And then, knowing, how to, if you're the cutoff man for the right field or the center field, there's a lot to think about over there. But it's all part of accepting your role. If you're able to play different positions, you increase your value for yourself and for the team. Helps the skipper when you have a guy like Cheslor. The skipper, another term for manager. Some folks call the manager coach, and it's not football.
Yeah. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, if you want to get an odd look from a major league manager, go up to him and say, "Hey, coach."
But some folks don't know. They don't know that, and so you can't hold that against them.
Well, even the specialty coaches, I mean, you wouldn't go up to Rusty Kuntz and say, "Hey, coach." Baseball is just very unique in that way. And if you think about it, I think baseball has it right by calling them managers, because the so-called head coaches aren't really doing a whole lot of coaching. It's the specialized coaches who have the hands-on. The head coach is basically managing the whole operation.
Managing the players. You're showing Dave Island there. Dave Island, he's the head mechanic.
So if you run into Dave Island around town, say, hey, mechanic.
No.
No?
No. It's just my off-centeredness. But he likes to fix things. He likes to fix pitchers. I think it fits it. He's really good at making adjustments, little things for guys to help them right. And that's what you do when you take your car in and it's just not running right. You take it to the mechanic.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Minor. He has struck out 3 of the last 4. And he has set down all 6 Red Sox hitters he has faced today. Coming up on Sundays, our next Family Fun Day Sunday, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Before the game, kids will enjoy face painters. You know, I say that every week. Kids and adults can enjoy face painters if they want to, and activities at the outfield experience, plus player autographs on top of the Royals dugout. Signature Sundays after the game. Now this one is kids only. 14 and under can run the bases in the Kansas City Zoo Fun Run.
How about it?
You know, adults, if they want to get your face painted,
That's a good
knock
point.
yourself out.
Glad that you made that point.
1-1 on Mookie Betts, 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. So at the moment, he has the go-ahead RBI. Otherwise, he is 1 for 12 in this series. 2 driven in. Cole just foul outside of third. Marcus Lynn Betts. His mom was a baseball fan and a middle infielder in softball, and had dreams of her son even before he was born of making it to the major leagues. So his initials, Marcus Lynn Betts.
MLB.
MLB.
Love it.
That was intentional.
Wow. But she didn't realize that he could be on the PBA.
He is an outstanding bowler. You have 2 of the best all-around outfielders for the Boston Red Sox, and Betts and Bradley, and maybe the 2 best bowlers in the major leagues.
It's crazy.
And Betts and Bradley. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Mookie Betts, among other things, was named the best boys bowler in Tennessee in 2010, and Jackie Bradley Jr. is also an excellent bowler. That ball is fair. So Mookie Betts gets just his 2nd hit of the series. It's a double, and it comes with nobody on base.
Change up. Usually that's the pitch that a righty will pull off a lefty that throws in the mid-90s. Change up that stayed up and right by Moose. 2 outs. See if Minor can handle Benintendi.
So he adds to his lead in the American League. 23 doubles. Only Nolan Arenado of the Rockies has more in the major leagues, and that's his 114th extra base hit since the beginning of last year. Most in the American League, and second to Nolan Arenado. Now Benintendi popped up. Escobar is out, and he's got it. 2 1/3 scoreless for Mike Minor. Stretch time at Kauffman Stadium. Bad day on the golf course. They come up in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Royals in Fox Sports Kansas City are offering a unique way for fans across the Midwest to enjoy a game at Kauffman Stadium. The Raised Royal Fan Express. Next stop, Topeka, June 24th. Go to Royals.com/Fan Express for more information. Fans in designated markets will have the opportunity to win a trip to Kauffman Stadium.
That's Saturday.
Against the Blue Jays. Royals 2 runs, 4 hits in 6 innings against Drew Pomerantz. Pitch number 84 is grounded into center field. Salvi is 3 for 3 in on base percentage today. 2 singles and a walk.
Very nice. Set that table up. Booth swung at the first pitch in his last time up. Popped up to the center fielder. But there it is. High fastball. Salvi hit it where they weren't.
Mike Moustakas has seen 2 pitches from Drew Pomerantz. This time he takes outside. On the first pitch he saw in the 2nd inning, he grounded into a double play. A run scored on the play. And then he flied to center on the first pitch he saw in the 4th inning. Now the Red Sox doing against Moustakas what they did against Alex Gordon last night. Throwing 1 pitch, they don't see bunt. And so they shift their defense. They have 1 infielder on the left side, but that infielder is the shortstop Bogarts, and he's way in.
Right, and they have him there so he can catch the little pop-ups that are out there because he has a little bit more range and agility. Moose 5 of his 19 homers against lefties. Ooh, that's the one. When he starts it right at you like that, that's the one that's going to come back over the middle of the plate. You can tell Moose just froze up just a little bit, but see, it starts right at him. Ooh, that's the one. That's the hanger.
Jelly legger.
Yep.
They call that.
So once you've seen it, you put that in the back of your mind as a hitter. You see it there again, turn and burn. Oh. Threw it twice. Maybe he'll throw it again. It's a hanging curve.
Fouled a fastball away. Still 2-2. Second time today that a Royal has been unhappy with Gabe Morales' call on a curveball. Remember, Lorenzo Cain was up there and took a curveball, which is high as it is. I mean, it starts, you know, big loopy curveball.
Yep, neck high. But those are the ones that you can hit out of the ballpark when they end up in the top of the zone with an easy level swing. With that curveball spin, you hit underneath it, it just takes off like a rocket with an easy swing. Good try. Now Bogarts is left where he was with 2 strikes on Moose. Moves back over, back to shortstop. So Moose, last 2 swings of those fastballs, he was taking shots that way. He was taking a shot to go to left field. Nobody out. Royals need some runners. Farrell's got a little action up in his bullpen now, right-hander.
Still alive. He's been very late on the last 2 fastballs. So I figure in the back of his mind right now is the curveball.
Yep. But that's what you, where you want to put it. Just got a tip.
Almost got catcher's interference in that swing.
Nope. He's not going to give him 2 hangers in a row. Heater again away.
One down, 5 strikeouts for Pomerantz.
a good spot there, man. That's excellent location.
And now Cuthbert with 1 on, 1 out. That's into right field. Tying run on with 1 out. Cuthbert is 1 for 3.
Yep, there's a little bit of a hanger and a good approach with a nice swing. Kept his hands inside. Good head position. Shot it out there. John Farrell, Red Sox manager. Seen enough.
And at the same time, pleased with what he got from Drew Pomerantz. So Joe Kelly is a Chevy call to the bullpen. He'll get Alcides Escobar with 2 on, 1 out, 7th inning. And here comes the heat. And we're not talking about the weather. We're talking about Joe Kelly. 30 innings, 23 strikeouts. So not a big strikeout pitcher. But when you're talking about average velocity with a fastball in the American League, he's up there. And now the Royals are into that back end of the bullpen that Hud was talking about. Second best ERA in the American League. And when they lead after 7 innings, and there's 1 out in the 7th here, they have not lost a game all year.
Good for them. It's time. Look for that heater. I mean, it's a hard one, like you said, upper 90s.
97 with that one. Benintendi into left center field. No advance. Escobar's 1 for 3 and now 2 down in the 7th.
Joe Kelly in his 5th year in the majors, official Major League service time. Surprising that he could throw that hard at 6'1", 185 pounds, but he's got some natural sink to that fastball, slider, curve, and a change. Got a little 3/4 arm delivery. Carl Willis coming out there for a little chat with him.
It'll be Ramon Torres. Ned Yost has Brandon Moss and Alex Gordon on the bench. Kelly in 30 1/3 innings has allowed 0 home runs this year. Ball 1 to Torres. He is 0 for 2. And he has Perez at second, Cuthbert at first with 2 down.
Escobar took a good rip on him first pitch. Just a little bit off the end, but he almost barreled him. Torres, handsy hitter. Let's see what he can do if he could just slap one out there somewhere. Find a hole in a big one.
And I wonder if that goes into Ned's decision-making process right here about staying with Torres, you know, just as a handful of big league games against a guy like Kelly. You know, you want a guy with a short swing, and as opposed to someone who might try and muscle up against him.
Right? I'm with you. It was a good first swing. Chesler at first base, he can get a bigger lead than normal. Moreland, first baseman's way off in the back of the grass there, so a gapper should be able to score him. 2 good swings now in a row.
Royals have seen Kelly with the Red Sox, and they've seen him with the Cardinals, where he was a starter. He got his first major league win here at Kauffman Stadium almost exactly 5 years ago. 5 years ago tomorrow. Right idea. 98 miles an hour, still 1-2.
He has a perfect approach for a guy that throws that hard. Let him supply the power. You just put an easy swing and it'll barrel. Cuthbert, he's checking everything out. There's 2 outs. He knows he's going on contact, but you can certainly get a little bigger lead. And when you get your lead in back of the base like that, it helps you cut that corner at second base a little sharper. Every little second counts.
2-2.
Torres doesn't seem to be rattled one bit being a big leaguer. It's the thing that's impressed me the most by watching him. Ned sees the same thing.
Fouled it away again.
Torres with really good hands. You can just tell he's a handsy type hitter. Makes him a good middle infielder. Staying under control. Win this AB. He's working Joe Kelly. Working.
.98 and just inside. And now 3 balls, 2 strikes after the count was 1-2. And again, I go back to the scouting report on Torres about how, if anything, in the minor leagues, he was a bit too aggressive, maybe too anxious early in the count. Too many low pitch at bats, but he hasn't been like that at all with the Royals.
No. Knock them both in right here. Away. He wrinkled through one of his wrinkles there. Stayed with him. Vasquez, they're going to talk this one out and say, well, you know what, this guy, he's a rookie, but he's a tough out. What are we going to do? Kelly said, let's go with the meat and butter. If he's going to beat me, he's going to beat me on my heater. That's what you got to look for here. Hot day. The crowd looking for something to get off their feet for and their seats.
Runners go again, and he gets a walk. How about that? Ramon Torres playing in just his 7th big league game. Royals are down by 2 with 2 outs in the 7th inning. Not known for his plate discipline, not known for piling up walks. He's down 1-2 against one of the better relievers in the league. And he gets his first big league walk to load him up for Whit Merrifield.
Ooh, yeah. Now, hey, look now, Whitley, he's 2 for 8 with the bases loaded this year. He's got a double and a triple. And both of those hits. No slams, that would be nice. But how about just a nice little gapper and add to the extra base totals.
Got the call. Witt's not happy. 99 miles an hour.
Tell you what, you ain't hitting that one. That one, you're going to swing and miss at that. So it's a good take. It looked like it was not a strike, but the best you do on that is a foul ball. So nothing wrong with that. He got to see what it looked like, which you don't have very long to see at 99.
Line to right field. Betts was shallow. Two hits, a walk, and a line drive into glove of Mookie Betts, and the Royals are scoreless. Our T-Mobile unlimited baseball break. The Royals will have a break tomorrow, and then the Toronto Blue Jays, they're in last place in the East. However, they have the 2nd best record in the American League since May 1st. The Royals have the 3rd best. The best has been the Astros. Similar to the Royals, had a bad April and been slowly digging themselves out. Like the Royals, 2 games under 500 going into today. The Royals will not have to face Aaron Sanchez, who finished with the league's best ERA last year. He is on the disabled list with a laceration to a finger. Soria will pitch the top of the 8th inning. Red Sox lead 4-2. It'll be Bogarts, Moreland, and Young. Bogarts hit a home run in the 4th inning, back-to-back with Benintendi. He has also walked twice today. The difference in the game right now, a Red Sox 2-run 5th inning, and both runs were unearned. Inside, 1 ball and 1 strike on Bogarts.
Bogart's going to see fastball, slider, changeup, slow curve, and split finger. Very slow curve got him.
Cuthbert Well, they're going to say that he kept his foot on the bag. The Red Sox say just a minute. Now the Red Sox, they have a really good look at that play from the third base dugout. They are looking right up the first base line, and John Farrell's replay coordinator took another look at it, and they agree with first base umpire Adrian Johnson that Cuthbert kept his foot on the bag.
That's right. I would stretch out there a little bit, Chesler.
Here's Mitch Moreland with one out. Oh for 2 with a walk in the 4th inning. Two and 0. Two balls, one strike on Mitch Moreland. 0 for 2 today. And now 0 for his last 13 after a 10-game hitting streak. Hit well to left. Merrifield has room. 2 down.
Slowly emerging in the Royals bullpen is Mike Minor. He's done a fantastic job with his pitches, his execution, coming in when tough situations. That fastball changeup combination has been really working marvelous. Look at that. He threw 37 pitches today, did exactly what Ned Yost asked him, hold him down for the comeback. His ERA 1.93. Impressive. And Rhino, you said that the Red Sox are undefeated in the 7th inning on, even the 8th and 9th that they haven't been beaten. Today's a good day to do it. Get that series victory. Won't be easy. But that ball that Merrifield hit, if it's 2 feet further to the right, he clears the bases. That's how easy it can happen. I don't know if they'll have a bases loaded situation again here with just a couple of shots left at him, but it's been a good game outside of the 2 errors the pitchers made.
Two and 2 on Chris Young.
Cuthbert got one of those errors that drilled Ruben Amaro.
In the bottom of the 8th, down by 2, the Royals will have Bonifacio, Kane, and Hosmer.
of the series here against the Red Sox. This little whiff by Kennedy didn't help matters at all. And I got over there, got him at second and third, and here's a little fly ball, sacrifice fly by Mookie Betts, able to score the run that was made in there. And in this one right here, it wasn't originally an error on Minor, but they gave it to Cuthbert, and they were able to score a run on that play as well. So those two runs there made a big difference, or else it'd still be tied here. Glad that Ruben Amaro Jr., the first base coach, is okay after getting nailed with that line shot right in the right side of his chest.
So from Joe Kelly to Matt Barnes, they're trying to hold it for Craig Kimbrell, who has been out of this world good in 2017. And Bonifacio, Kane, Hosmer, if anybody gets on. Salvador Perez. And that's a big breaking ball in for a strike.
Sure enough. 6'4", 205. Matt Barnes 90 to 98 with that fastball anywhere in there. You see the big, he's got a changeup, mainly fastball changeup combination.
Upstairs, 2 balls and 1 strike. Fouled off the catcher Vasquez. Boston Red Sox, when they lead after 7 innings this year, are 29-0. Showed you their ERA compared to the league. Only the Indians have a better bullpen ERA in the American League. They have 21 saves as a team and only 4 blown saves. And that's just not for their closer. That's just any lead that they have given away in the 7th inning or later. 4 times all year.
Three and 2. He's got a good fastball. Won't be easy, but look, they all have ERAs. Somebody's gotten to him.
Leadoff man on.
Okay.
That's the 5th time today the Royals have had their leadoff man on. 2 times they've turned that into runs after doubles by Hosmer in the 2nd and Escobar in the 3rd. It's the 3rd consecutive inning the Royals have had their leadoff man on, but came up empty in the 6th and the 7th. Now, as you say, Hud, everyone has an ERA, and even Craig Kimbrell has an ERA, but his is 0.85.
Okay.
So this is the inning right here.
Exactly. Totally understand. Farrell has a lefty up in the bullpen for Haas in case Kane gets on.
And that lefty is Robbie Scott. Craig Kimbrell has allowed 3 runs in 31 2/3 innings. Matt Barnes has allowed 12 runs in 31 2/3 innings. So there's always a chance that Kimbrell is going to have a bad day, but if you're a betting man or woman, this is where the Royals need to get it done.
How about just pop one out of the yard, tie it up.
And he's having a tough time getting the ball down. 2 balls and no strikes.
He is. He's taking a little walk behind the mound and rubbing up the baseball. 2-0. Kane's saying, okay, I know he's going to come in here with a heater, stay short with my swing. I'm going to try to direct it right back up the middle. See if we can get a little hang time, get it up in that wind that's blowing out to left field.
He has thrown 9 pitches, 2 strikes.
And you can tell he's a little frustrated. Vasquez, the catcher, said, come on, get it down. Let's go. It was his body language. 3-0. I'm going to say, don't be swinging here. Although, you know, Locane, he could be the Locane lead back. You never know, 3-0, but that's what he's looking to do. I'm going to make him throw me a strike. They need runners.
Four-pitch walk.
Good idea there.
So Barnes and the Red Sox, they're asking for it. Back-to-back walks to begin the bottom of the 8th inning, and that's all John Farrell's going to get out of Matt Barnes.
Yep, good job having the lefty up there ready to face Haas if he needed to. But like I said, Haas hitting over 300 against lefties. Barnes shaking his head saying, wow, I'm not normally this wild. See if the Royals can take advantage. We'll be back.
Royals have 2 on, nobody out, and Eric Hosmer coming up against a tough lefty, Robbie Scott. Hosmer, I don't know if you want to call this the advantage, because lefties have done almost nothing against Robbie Scott. They're hitting .069, but it's not the first time Hosmer has seen Robbie Scott. He saw him on Monday night and took a walk. At least he has some idea of what he's going to see right now.
Exactly right. Now the Royals loaded him up in the previous inning, and Whitley almost got him the lead. Let's see if they can do it again.
Jorge Bonifacio walked. Lorenzo Cain walked. Royals have not scored since the 3rd inning when they led 2-0. Outside.
Ross, he's funky. Or excuse me, Robbie Scott. He's 87 to 91 with that couple different deliveries. Drop down angle is going to be tough to keep that shoulder in there. Hosmer's hit .375 off of left-handed fastballs this year. He loves to lace them to left. Outfield playing deep in left. Yep. Okay, Robbie Scott falling behind 2-0.
Red Sox pitchers in this inning have thrown a combined 12 pitches, 2 strikes.
favorable wind for Haas. Straight out, slightly to left center. That's where he hits his bombs. Fans are all pulling for him here.
3-0. Remember all the time we spent last night talking about Hosmer and Devin Marrero, buddies since Little League back in Miami. Well, there's bragging rights on the line right here too. Eric and Robbie Scott played together as 12-year-olds.
This is a no-brain take right here. You know you got to take. Make him throw you a strike, at least. Salvi on deck.
The Red Sox have walked the bases loaded in the bottom of the 8th inning. 14 pitches, 2 strikes. And the last 9 have all been out of the strike zone.
Ooh, man, I'm going to tell you what, you're digging yourself into a big hole right now. You put those runners on like that, free passes this late in the game. Salvador Perez stepping in with the bases loaded in his career. Good numbers, well overdue for a slam. He's got a left-hander that he can see real well from that arm angle that he's got. 19 come from behind wins this year by the Royals. They're looking to make it 20.
Salvi did not see Robbie Scott on Monday. Pitches, 2 strikes thrown by Matt Barnes and Robbie Scott in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Hard to believe Salvador Perez hasn't homered or hit a slam in his career.
That was borderline, but you know, you could say, well, look at a strike, but the more he misses, the more he's going to try and aim one in there, and it won't be his best fastball.
Yeah, that was a good try. That was a good swing. Think right center, you'll be good. Right center, keep your hands in, and then if he makes a mistake up, naturally you'll turn on it.
Again away. Salvi immediately turns to Gabe Morales and said, was that a strike? According to the grid, the pitch before was not a strike. Neither was that one. So it's 1-2. It could be 3-0, but Salvi's trying to drive in a run and thinking eventually he's going to throw a strike. So will he go that far outside? No. 2-2. And now they have a right-hander, Heath Hembree, warming up in the bullpen, as this inning so far has not gone according to plan for the Red Sox. He has gotten 2 swings and misses, Robbie Scott, and yet he has not thrown a pitch in the strike zone yet in this inning.
No, and he's not going to float a breaking ball up there and take the chances it's going to hang.
Three and 2. Still hasn't thrown one in the strike zone.
It may not. He might think if he walks in a run, 1's better than 4. Got Moose on deck. He knows Salvi wants to knock in some runs, and Farrell's got his fingers crossed.
4 of the last 5 Royals to come to the plate have walked. Fouled back. Salvi down to a knee. The pain he has on his left side is not muscular. It's like a pinched nerve, and it's been described to me as like hitting your funny bone. There's a shot of pain, and it just kind of takes his breath away for a moment. But you know, people have asked, why is Salvi still playing if he has pain on his left side? It's not his oblique.
Okay.
So he's able to take a little time, shake it off, the pain goes away, and he's ready to swing again. And every time he goes down to a knee, he gets a shot of pain, and so does everyone else watching him.
That's right. Now that's the best fastball he's seen the entire at bat. I don't know if he's going to give him another one of those. Fans are waiting for a loud noise.
We'll do it again. And again, Salvi takes a knee after the follow through. Drew Pomeranz, Red Sox starter, walked 1 in 6 1/3 innings. 1 walk for the Royals until 2 outs in the 7th when Kelly walked a batter, and now 4 of the last 5 have walked. And the Royals are not known for their walks. May have been outside, but if you're Salvi, it's too close to take.
No, I totally agree. This situation here, you can't be called out. If you swing and miss, oh well. But Vasquez going to go try to calm down the young Robbie Scott. 87 and 91 with a fastball. He's not overpowering. He's hadn't thrown too many wrinkles. He's a little bit nervous and leery of leaving a soft one up out over the middle.
Royals have the fewest walks of any offense in the American League. And yet that's what they're using right now. And put some pressure on the Red Sox in their lockdown bullpen in the 8th. Another 3-2. A blast to left field. Did he get it? He did! Salvador Perez with his first Major League Grand Slam.
For they got it. Robbie Scott falling behind hitters. You fall behind a hitter like Salvador Perez, who hasn't hit a salami in his entire career, he'll make you pay.
Still nobody out. And Scott flips a breaking ball, and that's out of the strike zone. That breaking ball's in for a strike, 1-1.
Oh, the fans here, you could just see it. They could feel it. They got on the edge of their seat, then they stood up just in time, and that was a no-doubter.
Well, to be accurate, they had to peel themselves out of their seat to get on the edge of their seat. 1-2 on Moustakas.
Let's check it out. Oh, belt high, right where Salvi's looking for it. Congratulations on your first slam, Salvi. Hopefully, it's a game winner. Yes, look at the camera shaking, the people. That reminds me a little bit about that slam that Maxwell hit to end the game several years ago.
That was the last home game of 2013.
That's
against
right.
The Texas Rangers.
Okay.
Actually hit it off of Joakim Soria.
Yep. I remember you telling me this is the first time that Joakim. Oh, look at that. You're going good.
Well, that's the equivalent of having the leadoff man on. It's not the leadoff man in the inning, but with the bases empty and nobody out, the Royals can start another rally.
Oh, you are living right, Moose. Way to go, bud. That little cue ball there, it worked every time. And you talked about how the Red Sox haven't been beaten, and we have a ball that's been cupped off the end. You see that? Takes a little bit of the skin off of that when you hit the end of the cup.
Heath Hembree to face Cheslor Cuthbert.
Let's check out the grand salami. Pitch sequence. There it was. They stayed away from Salvi. They knew he had the power. Robbie Scott doing all he can to come and stay out of that zone. Salvi wants to knock in the runs in the worst way, but when you wait a guy out, there's 91. He fouled him off. 90 away. He's going to wait for it. Still coming. Got it. Up in the zone. Just what he's looking for at 91. That ball was not walking. 412 feet, 39-degree launch angle, 104 miles per hour off the bat, and the 139 apex.
With Miguel Cabrera's bat.
How about that? Thank you, baby.
Heath Hembree comes on, and so does Alex Gordon. So Alex going to bat for Cuthbert, who was 1 for 3. And now Hembree misses the strike zone.
Whoa, that many walks. What a gift for the Royals, who never walk.
2-0.
What do you think Denny's saying over there about the walks?
Oh, leadoff walk.
Yeah,
late innings, close ball game.
Trouble.
Always seem to come back and bite you.
Ooh, man.
Way up into the bright sunshine, and Rutledge falls out Moreland and makes a play in foul territory. And 6 batters into the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Red Sox get the first out. Red Sox pitchers in this inning have thrown 31 pitches, 13 strikes. Salvador Perez with a long at bat, fouling off some pitches that were strikes, fouling off some pitches that weren't strikes. It's a grand slam to put the Royals in front in the 8th inning. And now Escobar takes upstairs. Esky doubled and scored back in the 3rd inning. He's 1 for 3. One and one.
Heath Hembree has a good fastball as well. He's mid to upper 90s. A slider changeup.
One and two. Out to Rutledge, and the Red Sox get a double play, but the Royals get 4. Walks to Bonifacio, Kane, and Hosmer, and Salvador Perez with his first major league grand slam. The Royals down by 2 going into the 8th, lead by 2 going into the 9th. Perez grand slam in the bottom of the 8th inning. Every time the Royals turn a double play, the next day McDouble sandwiches are only $1 at participating McDonald's in the greater KC, St. Joe, and Lawrence locations. Kelvin Herrera will get Jackie Bradley Jr., Josh Rutledge, Christian Vasquez, unless John Farrell decides to bring someone off of his bench, which includes Dustin Pedroia and Hanley Ramirez. Herrera saved the game on Monday night in the Royals' 4-2 win over the Red Sox. Eric Hosmer, who was the Royals' DH today, in at first. Alex Gordon is in left. Whit Merrifield is in right. Oh, 0-1 on Jackie Bradley Jr., who is 0 for 3.
Ned getting his best defenders in there for Herrera. This is a big shutdown opportunity for Herrera. Fastball upper 90s, changeup upper 80s, slider. Come right after him. 2-run lead. Make them put the ball in play.
One and two. Good changeup. Down and out of the strike zone. that's lined into right center field. So they had him out in front of the changeup and then tried to surprise him with a fastball, and Bradley was all over it. On a 1-2 pitch, he doubles to begin the 9th inning.
Center cut heater, 100 miles an hour. But see, you know what I told you, and how many times, it doesn't matter how hard you throw, if you miss in that middle, they'll get it. He pulled it. Perfect spot.
Let's go down to the field and check in with Joel.
All right, a lot to talk about, hopefully very soon here on Boulevard Royals Live. Grand day for Salvi. We will certainly be talking about that slam, and no minor details, or perhaps minor details, as Mike Minor getting the job done, but still a little ways to go here for the Royals.
Tying run at the plate with nobody out. Thank you, Joel. Josh Rutledge is 0 for 3. And that is foul. Mike Moustakas almost able to reach for that ball in foul territory.
What a great effort there. I mean, he stretched out as far as he could possibly stretch. Almost snagged it.
And Moustakas right now is guarding the line, guarding against the extra base hit. Let's put him in a good position to come that close. Escobar fields, and Rutledge is the first out. Bradley Jr. goes to third. And now Christian Vasquez 1 for 3 with a run scored back in the 5th inning. Slider for strike 1. Royals are trying to win their 4th consecutive series. Oh, 2. And trying to win their 5th series over their last 6. The only non-winning series was a 4-game split with the Astros. And trying to win 3 consecutive series against the Red Sox. Strike 3 called. 101. 2 down.
Ooh, man, that's some heat. Herrera knows how important this is. And Vasquez, you got to go. 101.
So Hanley Ramirez comes off the bench to hit for Devin Marrero. 1 pinch hit home run in his career. He has Bradley Jr. at third base, 2 down, and taking a big swing at a fastball down and away. And immediately turning to Salvador Perez, I guess, to ask him if it was a strike. Doesn't matter what Salvi thinks, it's what the home plate umpire has to say. 1 for 3 against Herrera. One and one. Ramirez clearly caught up in the pressure and the tension of the moment.
Oh, no question.
Just overwhelmed with anxiety. Kind of remind you a little bit of Miguel Cabrera at the plate in a situation like this.
Those guys, they have a lot of experience. Sometimes the calmer you are, the better you can react.
In the air to center field. Kane is there, and the Royals take the series. El Toro! Ole!
There you go. The Red Sox had not been beaten after the 7th inning all year long with the lead.
Salvador took care of that. Of course, the patient offense let him throw some balls and wild pitch. And how about Mike Minor again was Mike Major? Fantastic job of holding the Red Sox, their good offense, down, while the Royals mounted their 20th come-from-behind victory.
And the team with the fewest walks in the American League set up the grand slam with walks. 3 consecutive walks to load them up for Salvador Perez against Robbie Scott, and our Honda play of the game.
That was so loud. Might have been the loudest hit of the season so far. Another series win against the American League East leaders. I mean, that brought the whole crowd. I mean, shocked the house. That's what I'm going to say, because that's exactly what it did. Even though the fans were anticipating it, courtesy of Miguel Cabrera. Salvi might put that bat away and retire it after that slam. What a beauty.
So the Royals are back to 1 game under 500. They have won 9 of their last 11 games.
Look at Drew. Oh, they're going to try a sneak attack on Salvi.
Nice.
Oh, I love their strategy.
So let's hurry up and get down to Joel.
All right. The Boston Red Sox were 29-0 when leading. There it is. And more than anything else, he got our camera. Drew tried for the sneak attack. Look at Salvi's going to dry. Go ahead. You can dry off the camera if you want. There we go. All right. Thank you. Looking out for us. The Red Sox were 29-0 this year when leading after 7 until you came to the plate. Three straight walks. He wasn't throwing you a lot of strikes. Take us through the mindset and the approach there.
I just try to see a good pitch and try to bring my friends to the home plate, you know, tie the game. And I got a pitch off and I hit a homer.
Well, it's the first time you've brought 3 friends to home plate in your career. First ever grand slam. How does that feel?
Feels pretty good. Seriously, the first thing I want to say, thank God for all the team we live in the world. Thank you, fan, and thank you for staying in the game.
Salvi, you guys have been playing such good baseball. A win today, you get the series. Lose, it's a day off. How important was today's win?
Every game important. We don't try to lose any game. We just come in here every day, play hard, and try to win.
Last thing, we noticed that the bat that you swung for your first ever grand slam had the name Miguel Cabrera on it. Tell us about that bat.
He's a triple crown, huh? It's pretty good. So Drew gave it to me today.
So if he's a triple crown guy, why not give it a crack, huh?
Are we gonna order that bat right now?
Go order some of those and celebrate the win. Salvador Perez.
Thank you.
There you go, Salvi. And how about that, guys? He's just being a good dude, cleaning off the camera too.
Well, he's taking some responsibility if he doesn't get out of the way. Did somebody tip him off?
Had to. That was a great attempt. I love the strategy involved, but it was a hoax.
We'll be right back.